I get it's weird.バーチャルマーケットニュース。こんにちは。バーチャルマーケット主催の動く城のフィオです。
Hi, I'm LilBagel from the global team.
この番組では毎回バーチャルマーケットに関するニュースをお届けしていきます。それでは本日お知らせするトピックスはこちら。バーチャルマーケット4がパブリック化決定しました。そしてバーチャルマーケット5のテーマが決定しました。さらにワールド紹介ね、コンセプトワールドが全部決まりましたので、そちらも公開いたします。さらに本日から出展者さんの一般募集も開始します。
I hope you are all excited for the world as much as I am.
はい、ではまず最初のトピックスから。バーチャルマーケット4のパブリック版が本日から公開です。 VR チャットのワールド検索のところで VCAT4 と文字を入れて検索をしてください。
Hey Theo, VCAT4 is done, but the booths are still there, right? Can we still purchase from the booths?
もちろんです。すべてのブースが開催時そのままに残っているので、回りきれなかった会場とかね、もう一度行ってみて気になる商品をチェックしてみてください。
Well, nice. So we can still buy the items we missed during the last event.
続いてのトピックスはバーチャルマーケット5に関する情報です。まずバーチャルマーケット5のテーマですが、こちらに決定しました。ワールドビヨンド。ワールドビヨンドです。もうなんかその先に待ってる世界というかね、世界を超えてみたいな、そんな感じのテーマになっています。さてさて皆様お気づきでしょうか。バーチャルマーケットのロゴがね、バーチャルマーケット4まではカタカナだったんです。なんだけれどもバーチャルマーケット5からはロゴが英語になりました。そう、もうね、世界を意識してるんです。やっぱり世界の人々みんなに楽しんでほしいという思いがあります。でね、今回ベーグルをはじめとするグローバルチーム、英語圏の方々にこの VCAT の魅力を伝えてくれるアンバサダーがベーグルになります。そのベーグルをトップとするグローバルチームと、それからね、日本語で作られたドキュメント説明文とかを英語にね訳してくれるローカライゼーションチームというチームを運営チーム内に新たに新設をいたしました。で、実はバーチャルマーケット3の頃からもう海外からのプレイヤーさんの方が実は多かったんですね、日本のプレイヤーさんよりも。なので、今回バーチャルマーケット5からはもう出展者さんも来場者さんももう世界中の人から来ていただいて、世界中のみんなに楽しんでいただけるイベントにしようという思いで、今回ロゴの変更とテーマをワールドビヨンドにするということを決定いたしました。
Theo, I heard you saying that Virtual Market 5 is a more global event than VCAT4, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. So if you're thinking of exhibiting, it would be great if you made your booth friendly for English and Japanese speakers. For example, we hope to see more diagrams to help bridge the language barrier.
そうだね。日本のみんな、そして海外から出展する皆さんも、もしよかったらね、言語の壁を越えたブース作り、出展物作りっていうのをよかったら今回意識をしてみてください。さあ、ここからはみんなが気になっているであろう今回のワールド会場をね紹介していきたいと思います。
So, my name's LilBagel. What I do in the social VR space is I'm many things, but one of the big things I consider myself is a community advocate. Essentially, I do what I think is best to ensure that we apply systems that can provide community sustainability and think about the big picture when it comes down to everything that social VR will become as we continue to move forward, and in respect to the cultures that are established here, identifying what makes us unique and doing our best to making sure that everybody is on the same page when it comes down to looking at what we're accomplishing here. Virtual Market is one of the largest virtual expos to have ever existed. It displays Virtual Market 5 had 1,000 exhibitors or something. Virtual Market 4 had 11,000 exhibitors. So, if you ever if you've ever been to a convention or an expo and you've seen the artist alleys there, just imagine that just in virtual reality, and that's the entire convention, right? And people are showing off all kinds of things, 3D models and stuff. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. You're starting to see people that were community members. They've realized the opportunities and the possibilities that they have. They've made the right connections in the social space, and now they're capitalizing on that and creating resources. So essentially what you're experiencing here is like a homegrown business kind of culture going on, where somebody had a fantastic idea, they found the right person, the right connections in VR, they collaborated with one another and created something new. Virtual Market started like that. Slyfest started like that. Loner and Shelter, it all started like that. All these businesses that I've been a part of, people, they come in here, they start communities and stuff, and they have a lot of fun, and then for some reason they get this urge to give back, because it does. This space gives you a lot, so I think they feel like some kind of duty or obligation to give back, and they look back at their years of experience of what they've accomplished in their lives, and they see where that fits in this new world, because there's people who aren't filling in these niches that in real life are being filled. So here it's like an opportunity to fill in a niche that you've almost always dreamed of filling in, and using that skill that you learned in real life, you can apply it here and push towards being a part of the cutting edge.
All right, let's go.
Welcome. Whoa, jeez.
So this is the default cube.
This is default cube. Welcome. This is the first one. We're going to be going through several little doorways here, and in the distance you can see the little teeny tiny cube over there.
Yeah.
Some really cool animations. Really cool intro. Yep. And now all you got to do is take that, and you rotate to the certain color, and boom. And now you can choose from whatever booth pops up. So whichever one looks interesting. Wow. And you can do that on either side. And so just keep switching sides and find one that you like, and then point your controller at it and click and make it happen, Captain.
I think I'd really like to try Moscow Mule Mirror Design Studio.
Good choice. And here is a booth created by one of the community members. So during Virtual Market 5, nobody was charged a fee when exhibiting. It's been a while since I've seen these, but it seems like what this person is selling up here is basic structures. So as you can see here, you have modular assets that you can purchase from this person to create a world of your own or a house of your own. Some interior stuff, as you can clearly see. And a brief description of what this is. This is an example of a 3D asset that this person is selling. This is an independent artist. this is a studio that's also dedicated on taking commissions. So it's either they're selling the asset itself, modular designs, or they're selling their services, commission them to create your own world to your own specifications.
I feel like we kind of hit the jackpot with this a little bit, you know?
Some of them aren't as refined as others. You've got to understand all these were all this was user submitted projects and product. So this is obviously an independent studio that's doing very well for themselves. So let's see here. Let's see where else that looks interesting. Thumbnails are important. See? I don't, but I know this person's stuff.
So, so basically what this is it's like a creator in this space who makes money, and this is like a showcase of which you can literally buy from these spaces.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So it's right here. This is what they're advertising in plain English.
How many worlds did you say were here just in the Virtual Market 5?
Oh, gosh. There was a lot of worlds for Virtual Market 5. I think there's 8. So there's 8 default cubes.
This is very easy to get lost in.
Yeah, it is. Behind me is VRCon 2020. It's a massive community volunteer project that was done by just some of the most wonderful people I have had the pleasure of working with. Spearheaded by Fizzy, who is a Twitch streamer. And we ended up creating and crafting a team of people that we were very pleased with, who are also just as motivated as we are to creating an amazing community experience. Essentially, the idea of VRCon was quite simple. Provide a space for individuals to come to where they could see their fellow communities in action, learn what those other communities are doing, and decide for themselves whether or not they wanted to join those communities. Either they be old community members looking for a new group to join, or new ones that are just looking for a place to fit in for the first time in social VR.
How many people were here?
Our numbers totaled 29,000 people.
That's really amazing.
The moment you spawn in, you can see everything. Over there, we archived a few worlds and experiences that we believe are absolute must-sees, like things like the Devouring. If you're into horror, it's one of the most immersive gaming experiences inside of VR chat. Absolutely do not miss it, you know. Or the Laser Tag Dome, which is basically a laser tag arena created by Cerix. And you've got that pink dome right there. The pink dome is where we had our keynote speakers and our TED Talks and all that stuff, basically, those kind of style of talks. The blue dome, that houses the portal that goes to our stage. Our stage is very lovely. A lot of memories were there. We had live concerts there during the event, as well as we hosted live DJs as well. And then you have the cyan dome right there, which is the main coup de grace, so to say. It is the main centerpiece, the community dome. So the community dome is the entire reason why we did VRCon in the first place. And inside there you have 60 plus communities that are on display there for people to browse at their leisure. But now that people know about us, I think we're going to experience much, much more in terms of the communities that we see there, and hopefully more variety. We can go over to the community dome right now.
Take us down to see something. Yeah, please.
Yeah, let's go to the community dome. Yeah.
This space is unbelievable. The architecture, also all of the booths here, it's a real testament to the community aspect of this festival.
The focus was to give the community an internal voice that it could use to communicate to one another. Something you can visit, that you can look at and like, wow, this looks like a community that's for me. Each booth in here was individually customized by each community. Basically, all we did was send out booths that were prefabricated, allowed them to customize them, and then submit them, and we put them in the world. So they made their own booths. Some of them are more hyper customized than others.
Yeah, I can see everything from like VR nightclubs like Shelter, and the VRC car community over here. There's Avatar worlds. It's super vibrant, right? Like it's every interest that you can think of.
Right.
There's like a community group here.
Right. A lot of people are, they ask for the directory of, where they should start in terms of communities. I tell them, hey, just go to the VRCon 2020 world, because these communities, they're the future community leaders that are changing the face of social VR.
Yeah. What I love the most about this too is it's like infrastructure that begets infrastructure. So this piece of infrastructure here is like a hub world, if you like, or a space that showcases other infrastructure. But it's not just that a VR car community or the nightclub community is just going to a nightclub. They're actually building all of this infrastructure themselves. Right. They're building the extension of the platform itself.
Because these spaces remain open for people to visit on their own time, it also freezes that community in time at that point. So it'll give you that
that's beautiful.
Little bit of historical context of where they were and where they are now. And this doesn't really go away. So, it's almost like preserved almost in
like a time capsule,
participating. Precisely.
This is it.
Yeah, this is the booth, and you can see here we have group photos of the Slyfest 2020. Here's me, and there's a bunch of people I can identify in this photo. This was such a magical night. That's Sly right there, this guy in the pink hoodie. So that is the guy that actually the festival is named after. The map that we were going to was in cooperation with Sly, was also created by Mochi, which is right here. They are fantastically talented, and you're about to see why we think so. Slyfest is the largest music festival that I know of. I got some pretty good artists involved. Very big highlights, and it was just such a good moment. And there's people crying. It was very emotional during the end. It felt like, at the end of it all, we were very very tight knit in our joined interests in VR and what we do here. So without further ado, I can actually show you the stage. If you're photosensitive, this is your warning to not look at the stage. So photosensitivity warning if anyone is that way. So this is a directory right here. If I click on one of the images right here, it'll boot up any of the artists that played, and they'll play their whole sets. So if you want to come out here in Slyfest and enjoy Slyfest for yourself with all of the artists that we had participate, you can, and just go straight through the playlist and have your own festival if you want. I've already hit a button, so as we go through here, we'll see the stage and it lighten up with all of the graphics. But this was our life for 3 days, was in this world, just partying the entire time. So when people wonder what there is to do in VR chat, well, here you go. Social VR has a lot of things going for it right now, and partying is definitely one of them. What Slyfest did, though, was set a standard of systems that should be used and future clubs afterwards. Now, the tech that made Slyfest so good and runs so well, because it was featured in Slyfest, it popularized it very quickly, and soon it created that standard. VRCDN is an RTMP service that allows us to stream basically with zero latency inside of VR chat, meaning that if you are a DJ, you can sit up at the very top of that DJ booth and you can DJ in real life. Everyone else is hearing in real time. So it allows us to do real-time DJ events.
Again, it's a community response, right? Like a community response to the limitations of the infrastructure.
Well, we make our own infrastructure with VRCDN, for instance. That's outside of VRChat's influence. Not only do you get zero latency, but I told you that the audio in this world is reactive. These animations that the lights and that these shapes are making are not pre-generated, meaning that if you're doing a live show, it is changing the lights live.
It's the synthesis of every single, like the meeting of create like a multidisciplinary space, right? Like
Exactly.
It's where everybody has something to contribute, whether it's a developer who's building the tech for it, or whether it's a visual artist doing the reactive visuals. Everybody, or the musician themselves, or even just the participant who expresses themselves through that avatar. It's all far more symbiotic than it would be outside necessarily.
Yeah, a lot of very small systems, but creating a complicated community culture and incredible commerce and all kinds of things, yeah. I get to wake up every morning and then see all of the Excel documents that eventually end up in things like this. So.
This guy's just, we've lost him.
I'm vibing. What do you need me to do?
I'm waiting for
We gotta go. We gotta go before I get lost in this life that's vibing it. I'll be stuck here for another 3 days. Alright, let's go.
Like, look at you, you're lying down in VR. Are you actually lying down in real life as well?
Yeah, I'm lying down in real life. I actually have a bag chair that's similar to this right now that I'm laying down on right now.
You're someone who has come through the pandemic and come out the other side with a sense of community, which I think you'd probably agree is much stronger than it was going into the pandemic, whereas a lot of people might have struggled. I think obviously VR plays a major role in that for you. And as we begin to maybe come out the other side, maybe, what are your hopes for the future?
My love for community started long ago when I was like
I didn't mean to
14
imply
and
otherwise.
Yeah, when I was 14 and I saw like the first YouTubers coming up, and I saw the communities that grew around them, like Cnanners and all of them, I saw
Yeah.
that amazing communities that like grew around the Yogscast and all the Mindcrack guys and all kinds of stuff. And seeing those communities grow and thrive really inspired me, and seeing like what kind of incredible things that these people could put together, and all they did was, play a game. And I always thought to myself how amazing it would be to be in a position where I could do the same. When I first came in, I knew that it was a community that I wanted to be a part of. I didn't have any previous connections with anyone. I came in as just a guy and got accepted into a group of people, which is why VRCon has such the message it does. It harks back to my roots. VRCon's message is trying to accomplish what I feel like everyone got in 2018, and trying to keep that alive and giving it another avenue to stay alive. That ability for somebody to come in, to just find that place where they fit in, and hopefully the same that happened to me happens to them.
And I think what I like about your work is that you're driven, in a sense, not necessarily by the platforms, but by the communities. And so theoretically, should a migration need to occur, you would be the kind of person who'd be able to successfully help a community migrate from one to the other. I think a lot of people make the mistake of only seeing VR from its platform perspective, not from a protocol level or from an infrastructure level. And it sounds like what you're saying, if I can paraphrase you, is that the future that you see of social VR and of business VR, if you like, what you see as the future is, as a community leader, those spaces being much more diverse by its necessity of the kind of tooling that this is and what it's capable of. Is that right?
Yes, but also there's a challenge that comes with that, though. And it's one of the things that scares me the most.
Mm-hmm.
A smart person would sit here and see what has happened before when these technological booms are around the corner. Right now, we do not have government bodies that are educated or literate in the technologies that we're using right now. And hands down, that is the biggest threat we have to face. The community has to understand that regardless of our differences with one another, those entities that are looking at regulation cannot divide us.
LilBagel, I think we should leave it there because we've been talking for a really long time again, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So thank you for the work that you do as well. Can you please just quickly plug where to find the work that you're doing? We've talked a lot about it here, but like from someone from the outside watching the stream, how can they find you? What's the first step?
So essentially you can find me on Twitter at LilBagelVR. You can also find me, I was going to say on Twitch, but I don't stream much. LilBagel_. I'm going to plug it anyways. Twitch.tv/LilBagel_. I don't know, by the time this comes out, I might be streaming again. Who knows? And then in VR chat, of course, you can find me with my name, LilBagel. And I plug myself here because I'm more than willing to meet new people and see their perspectives on what's going on. And as long as it keeps going the way it's going, I think we're going to get where we're going just fine.
Thank you for taking us through these community spaces and this beautiful aquarium. Thank you, Lightly, for co-producing this with me. And thank you for watching the stream. And best of luck with JobCon and all of the other projects. Really, really looking forward to spending time there.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's been a lot of fun.